Okay, this is Coach Dez here. This is Wild Card Weekend. It's been a while since I talked about football, but we're going to talk about the Bucks versus the Saints. But before I get started, I want to say this: I don't feel that it's fair that the head coach is not taking the responsibility for the defensive coordinators or offensive coordinators being fired or released, as well as assistants. So when you go to prepare a game, you should know the ins and outs, the routes and everything that your opponent that you're going to play. So I personally will go and watch about 8 games on Saturday, and that's sometimes that was a lot for me to travel to 4 different places, because I knew that we were going to face these teams in the future, and I needed to see the data on them. You're lucky. You got you got film, you got tape, you got that you can rewatch it over and over again. I had to personally go there because we don't have film on these guys. Same way on Sunday, I would watch anywhere from 3 to 5 games, and I would take notes. I just wanted to see what routes they were running, who was getting the ball, how was the quarterback hand, what was their defense like, what was their offense like, kickoff return, all of that. So with Prospect U, I noticed this about them. This is their front line. They will have 4 wide receivers and a running back with the quarterback. They crisscrossed, and he sometimes would just hand the ball off to the receiver, and they were the lead blocks going out, or he was the fullback that protected the quarterback while he passed the ball to one of these two. These two just ran straight routes. Now, see, also that I noticed is number 17 was their go-to guy. When he rushed, he only rushed right, but he scored all 8 touchdowns for them. So that's the little things that I noticed. Another guy, when the quarterback passed, he only passes to the left. Those are things that you as a coach supposed to know. Just like, okay, here's another example. This was the Milwaukee Ravens. They had number 40. He was a big guy, fullback. He would sit back with the quarterback right here, and he either was running left or right. That's how, wherever 40 was, I knew he was getting the ball. But if he was on the front line as a tight end, I knew he was the lead block going out for whoever was getting the ball. But I also noticed that 32 was their main ball carrier that he relied on, and he only ran left. But when he passed, the quarterback only passed left. Those are patterns that you as a coach supposed to know. So when you're facing your opponent, you're supposed to know which way they run, how they pass, who do he pass to. Because a lot of these teams this weekend, you know exactly who he's passing it to, and he only passes to that person on the left. He only passes to that person on the right. If they got running backs, well, you know they favor a side. They either going to favor right or left or up the middle. You have to know that as a coach. And you have to pass that information on to your offensive and defensive coordinators so they can pass it on to them. You practice starting Monday, Tuesday. You watch the film on Monday. You probably have off. Today you're practicing. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the way up until it's game time. So now you run patterns. You may not know it, but you run patterns. You need to get out of that. If I know your patterns, you don't think anybody else is going to pick up? I know your patterns. Pass, pass, rush, rush. All on the same side. Then you switch it up and go to the other side. Gotta break that up. They're going to pick you off every time. Now, I'm not going to say all of these belong to you. They don't. This is multiple quarterbacks in here. This data represents multiple quarterbacks, okay? So let's say, how can the Saints, well, beat the Bucks? Well, we already know that you beat them twice in the regular season. But you got to remember this. It's a whole new game. All these numbers here don't mean nothing now. You know, these are regular season numbers. When you step in that game with them, yes, you got 2 wins again. You know what? That's erased. This is a new slate. And it's up to you to put that notch in that win column and go to the next, get ready for the next game. So, Saints, how can you beat them? On the run game. You got a good running game. You're averaging about 5.2 yards to the left, which is your pattern. Because look at down here, passing to the left, 11.1, 11.85 down the middle. You're weak on the right side, but you only go to it after you pass, run. Got to break this pattern up. You good? Again, it's 3 quarterbacks, but 1.81, 0.56, and 1.1 in fumbles. So you're probably going to get 2 sacks. And I'm worried right here, second in the 4th quarter, you hold the ball too long. If you look at the 4th quarter, 8 sacks, 8 fumbles. I'm not blaming all of this on the quarterback, but it's funny how 8 and 8. Usually it's an odd number or, way off. I'm not saying that you get sacked a lot and then you fumble. No. But what I'm saying is you need to continue playing your game and utilizing the clock. What you don't want to do is this. Don't gunsling the ball down the field if you don't need to. Run it when you have the opportunity to just run it and run the clock out and wear their defense down. Okay, the Bucks defense, they're gonna give you the rushing yards. They're not gonna give it to you on the left, but you probably can sneak it in on the right. You can get it down here, passing to the left, 9.3 is where they give up the most. Passing to the middle, they give up the most yards. But this is what I'm worried about. This defense is going to test you. They average 3.18 sacks per game, 1 interception per game, 1 fumble per game. Will they get that? Well, let's see. The Bucks are averaging 22.16 points per game. Saints defense gives up 21.6. Y'all are so evenly matched on defense. Right there. 21-22. There's no mistake here. 22-21. Yes, y'all beat them. And you know how y'all beat them? Let's go to defense. And let's go to offense. So the Bucks offense and the Saints defense. And the Saints defense was not playing. They stuck it to them each and every time. They were making a statement. So the Bucks offense, they have a slight running game, but it does more passing. 12.53 on the right, 13.36 to the left, 10.2 down the left. 1.63 sacks per game, 0.8 interception, 0.75. Now I'm going to tell you why. You see this number here, 12. 12 sacks in the 4th quarter. You know why? Because he's holding on to the ball too long and he's looking for people open. This you cannot do. You got to know who you giving it to and get it to them. You got a lot of weapons, but you got to utilize them, and you got to know when to throw it down the field and when not to. Stop being a gun-slinging quarterback and utilize your run game and keep them on the bench. Wear this defense out. But I'm going to tell you now, this defense ain't giving you much except for the passing down the middle and to the left. But they are going to come back. They are going to come after you. 2.75 sacks per game, 1 interception, and 1 fumble. So they're going to pick that up from you because you hold on to the ball. Look at this. They averaged 16 sacks for the whole season in the 4th quarter. 11 and 12 first and 2nd quarter. So that tells you they're coming after you. So you need to make sure that you Um, get that ball out quickly. Run it if you have to. Stop staying in the pocket, because your pocket collapses around you. You got to get out. Get out of that pocket and throw the ball away. I'd rather have you live to see another down than to get hurt or go down and possibly fumble. Who knows? But because their defense is coming after you, and they did that. And again, these are not all of your numbers either, because when they set you, your other backup quarterback came in. So some of these are his. Okay, look, you're not going to win. I hate to say it. You're not going to win. I got the Saints by 6. So with that being said, peace out.